Hey guys, and welcome back to We Do Game Stuff. Today, what we're doing is we're unboxing the Last of Us Part 2 Collector's Edition. So, as you guys know, The Last of Us is a fantastic series. If you've never played the first one, you really, really need to go out and pick up the first one. The second one, I've heard some mixed reviews, but there's a very big event that happens in the second one which causes a lot of people not to like it. At first, at least. Until you finish the game, you really shouldn't have an opinion on it. At least in my opinion. But today we're not going to talk too much about that. What we're going to talk about is literally The Last of Us Part 2, the Collector's Edition. I mean, this thing is massive. I mean, just in comparison, like here's my forearm in comparison to it. I mean, it is huge. It comes with a metal book, a statue, an art book. I mean, I'm looking at all sorts of stuff back here. They have like stickers, patches, bracelets. And I mean, this thing is big. But give me a minute to get set up here, guys, and then we'll start unpacking this and you'll get to see where all the magic happens. Alright guys, just an FYI, I'm working with only one cameraman today, so this is going to be a little bit weird as far as the transitions are concerned. So just bear with us on that. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at this Collector's Edition. So if you're looking at the front of it, it says The Last of Us Part 2 Collector's Edition. And it has Ellie on the front, who is just covered in blood and just has a terrifying sneer on her face. But that's generally all you get on the front. It says only on PlayStation in case no one knew. And then basically on the side, there's not much to it. It just says The Last of Us Part 2 Collector's Edition again in plain, nothing to it. Pretty much all the sides are like that except for the back. So the back itself, it tells you where the meat is on this. And as you can tell, this has already been opened. And that's just to make sure before we started the video, we had all the contents. Anyhow, so it has digital contents that come with this. It comes with a PS4 dynamic theme. I'm sure everyone knows what that is, especially if you're in here looking at a collector's edition of a game for PlayStation. But gives you a set of network avatars. It's apparently a set of 6. It has a digital soundtrack, a digital mini art book from Dark Horse. It's a major comic book outlet. I don't necessarily know if you would call them major, but I'm going to. Anyhow, it comes with a very truly big size, and it's really a bang for your buck of Ellie sitting on a rock, or a piece of debris rather, and she's playing a guitar. And it comes with a steel book, another physical art book. It comes with, I mean, if you just look, it has so many different things. It has a bracelet, stickers, different stuff. I mean, it literally has it all listed down at the bottom. So it also comes with a set of 6 enamel pens, stuff like that. So now we're going to actually open this thing and we're going to take a look and see what's inside. Alright guys, let's get into the meat and potatoes. Alright, so as you can see, it's one huge box with one huge lid. So I'm going to try and get this thing out of here. I prefer to just literally do this. It's going to be upside down when I do it, but it'll be a nice little shot to let you know what's going on. Alright, that is literally just the case to hold the other case. Now let's flip this thing back up like it's supposed to. So this is a 2-part lid here. So this 2-part lid literally just slides right up. I say right up like it's not the super slowest thing on the planet. Alright, empty on the inside, nothing special, just the lid. Okay. Now, they have sort of a decal on this to where you can see like forest and foliage and such, but nothing super special with it. So let's go ahead and start this up. Comes with 2 little plastic sleeves. You just pull these off to the side here. And this is where you're going to see some of the interesting stuff. So for instance, this is The Last of Us Part 2 on the front. It's got Ellie screaming again. And then it's an art book. A lot of these pages on here are pretty intricate all in all. And of course, if you guys want to see these up close and take the time to actually view these individually, I would recommend that you go ahead and pause when you see a picture you like. There's quite a few pages left, but you get the idea. It's an art book. What we can do is that we can try and take some time to just take pictures individually of each one of these and try and place them in the middle of the video. That's if we have enough time during our editing process, but we'll take a look. So of course, another part of us, they really want you to know that this is The Last of Us Part 2. So they put it on everything, but this is a slide, nothing special on the back. Let's go ahead and take this off. And boom! Look at that. It's like a nice little postcard in a frame. And it's interesting. It's got something from the director of The Last of Us Part 2 here. What would you do if someone you loved was the victim of a cruel and violent act? How easily could one's mind tip toward violent retribution? How far would you go to bring the people responsible to justice? If you were successful, how would it change you? Would you ever be the same? With The Last of Us Part 2, we set out to create an experience that explores these difficult questions, the darkest sides of humanity's nature, and the vicious cycles of violence that we witness in the world around us on a daily basis. The result is a game crafted by hundreds of developers that push themselves to create something more than mere entertainment, a game that we're incredibly proud of, that we hope will enthrall you and challenge your own views of justice and empathy. On behalf of everyone at Naughty Dog, we want to thank you for the embarking of this journey with us, Neil Druckmann. Hopefully I said his last name right, because I feel really bad if I didn't. Okay guys, so this here's the metal book. Now, this metal book is pretty interesting in the fact that it's double-sided, so what happens is on this side you have Ellie, and then after you drink that in, Last of Us Part 2 is written on the side, and then you have a new character that'll be introduced in The Last of Us Part 2 here. It's pretty interesting. All in all, I'm super excited to find out what her deal is and go from there. But if we open the box, it's got 2 discs in here. One's white, one's black. What's interesting about this game seems to be so big that you need a simple data disk in order to be able to just install the game. This right here is specifically used to install it just so you can play it. And then the second disc is used to just play the game. And then typically there's a code in here, but considering the circumstances, it's already been used and I have that placed somewhere else. But that is the top. That's what comes in the top initially, which you can see once I tilt this back down and put everything back together. This is what it would look like when you first open the box. So, what's interesting is this thing is so jam-packed that it has sleeves. Like, it just slides out. And then that's where you take this little plastic case here, or plastic streamer, I guess, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to place that over here for now. All right. So here's the next part of it. So you're looking right here at what's basically a bunch of pins, the bracelet, and some stickers and vinyls that I'm having an extremely hard time getting out of there. So there's nothing on the back of this completely white, but if you look at it, I'm not going to take these out because I want to try and keep this as pristine as possible. But it literally is just a couple of little stickers that say, Naughty Dog, Last of Us Part 2, and it has a form of foliage in the background there, which is interesting. Now, this one's very interesting. You've got a bracelet. I'm not sure what relevance this plays. I'm sure it has something to do with the in-game content that I've yet to actually finish, so I don't know what this is yet. But it's a pretty big bracelet overall, considering that it gives you this big gap here that you can connect with a little chain link that it has here. So it seems like it'll fit most people's wrists. And then you've got the pins. Let's see if you can see that pretty well. wear these on anything you want, a jacket, any of that stuff. But let's take the time to actually put these back in, and then we'll slide on to the next part. All right, guys, now here comes one of the bigger reveals of this entire thing. So now you've seen that there is literally a top that goes on this. It's in a small box that's completely hollow that it slides this in. Then there's a box on the top here, which is interesting. Then you pull the top off, you have 2 sleeves, and then after you pull those sleeves out, you have another false top. And then this is pretty interesting because whenever you do this, you're looking at what it looks like on the inside. Now, it has 2 parts to protect the statue here because that's what's underneath this. The first part is to protect the head, which you must pull out in order to be able to do this. And then pull this part out as well to unveil the statue. Now it's pretty dark in there, so what we're going to do is we're going to let Ellie out and get some fresh air. They got this thing in there tight. Alright. So let's go ahead and take this off the table. Alright guys, so what you're seeing here is it's literally the Ellie statue where she's just covered in blood. I mean, the size of my hand in comparison to the statue should give you an idea how truly massive it is. I mean, it is huge. And of course it has a nice big rim filled with debris. It's painted extremely well. And I mean, it says The Last of Us on it. And then, I mean, this is actually textured, which is interesting. Like, if you run your hand across this, you feel etched marks in the guitar that she's strumming. And I mean, it's intricate. I mean, if you look at it here, it feels like what an older, rotten guitar would feel like. And then each individual string can be felt. It's not like it's painted on there. And then, I mean, it just is done really well. As far as the face is concerned, it looks really, really well done. She's covered in blood. She's got tattoos. There's the bracelet that we see. So that tells you exactly what relevance it plays. It's actually Ellie's bracelet. And she's sitting on what seems to be a destroyed debris. And then if we circle it around here, you can see how detailed this is. She's got nice arrows. They even took the time to give you something to protect it. It's a little plastic piece here to make sure these don't break off because this looks very easy to break off. I mean, this is part of the whole statue. It's not removable at all, so... But the point's pretty sharp. Hurt yourself on that if you're not paying attention. I mean, the backpack's intricate. It actually, you could feel each individual folds. This right here isn't just painted on either. It actually has depth to it. You might not be able to tell from the video, but I'm actually flicking part of it as well. This is a separate piece that's actually like attached on this. As you slowly slide around, you can see, I mean, they've even taken the time to detail out the furrows on the shirt from where the shirt's been tattered over time. And it comes back around where you can see Ellie's sad expression as she's strumming away on her guitar. But yeah, guys, that is the entire collector's edition for The Last of Us Part 2. I'm looking to sit down and play this game, so let us know in the comments if you want us to be able to stream this game. We could try and stream our playthroughs of this, keep it to a nice 30 minutes or so. Just depends if we have the time to do so. But yeah, this is just one of the better statues that I've ever seen come out of any collector's edition. And I mean, if we have several from the Assassin's Creed sections, I mean, we've got some from Destiny, Tomb Raider, and I mean, this is just beautiful. You could see the shine in her hair, the bun that she has. There's actual depth to almost everything on this statue. This carries a hefty price with it, but I feel like it is worth every single dime if you love this series. You guys should check it out if you haven't ever seen it. Feel free to check out our other videos in case you want to look at any other quality content. Please feel free to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.